Hello everybody, my name is Minkaro and welcome back to Slammed. Now we're going to carry on here. We were establishing whether we enjoyed our time training under Matt Kirby, I can read. And we were going to go for this option here. So I'm just pausing a little bit to let people get reacquainted with the story. In future videos I'm probably going to go straight on with the story, so if you want to catch up just pause the video. You know it's fairly easy, so I feel lucky you took me in. What we need to do now, Sam says, is tighten our focus. We need to highlight your strengths and cover up any weaknesses, and a big part of that will be the type of footage that we select. He leans back in his chair. Now, lucky for you, we've got a wide assortment of footage. I've divided the clips into 3 broad categories. Sam walks you through each group. The first shows you doing a lot of power moves, suplexes, power bombs, vicious clotheslines. The second group shows off your mat skills with a lot of chain wrestling, extended sequences of you and your opponent countering each other's holds. The third group features promos you've cut before and after our matches, challenging or mocking your opponents. Which group should I draw most heavily from? Now, I'm going to ignore the third group because I think being good on the mic is important in wrestling. I don't think it's the most important thing. But chain wrestling, I like chain wrestling. I really do like watching that. The whole technical wrestling thing. I mean, thinking back to about 10 years ago, my favourite wrestler at the time, and the guy I thought was the best around, was Kurt Angle. This is around 2005 when he was just finishing up in the WWE. I thought he was absolutely superb. I really love that. But I love suplexes. I mean, I really do. German suplexes, tiger suplexes, belly to belly suplexes. Yes, and a good clothesline. Can't really go wrong. I'm going to go for the first group, but that's really the first tough decision that I've had to face. You consider your strength to be your greatest asset. You're no hulking behemoth, but then you've always been stronger than you looked. You've never faced an opponent you couldn't lift off the ground. This group, you say, pointing to a clip where you managed to lift Big Benji and slam him onto the mat. Alright, Sam says, the vignettes will focus on your inhuman power. Well, he wouldn't go that far, but it is nice to see him enthusiastic. Okay, that's making us sound a little bit like Antonio Cesaro or Claudio Castagnoli, depending on your preferences. A guy who isn't particularly, Lashley or Cena or Lesnar sized, but he's still powerful. And Cesaro is obviously incredibly strong guy. So, great. I'm getting excited. Sam rolls up his sleeves. You're not quite sure how that will help him type better, but whatever. We're going to be doing more than just one vignette though, so I'll be showing off other aspects of your game as well. But just to narrow things down, is there a group that you don't want me to emphasise in the vignettes? Well, I've said before, the promos, I'm not sure that matters, so we'll go for power and mat skills. I get a bit tongue-tied on the microphone, you say. Me? Never. You focus most of your training on your physical conditioning, and you've never been comfortable with public speaking. Say no more, Sam says. I'll get you over by focusing on your strength and your technique. Sam chooses a few more video clips, making sure that you agree before adding them to a folder with your name on it. Okay, this thing is starting to take shape in my head. It's going to be epic. Sam's furiously shifting files around on his computer, but then he stops and whacks his forehead. Almost forgot, man. Guider would have killed me. He rummages under his desk for something and comes up with a slim folder. Inside is a copy of your contract with the BWF. Just fill in the blanks. I wasn't sure for a full name, so I left that part for you as well. The first blank is for your first name. So it's obviously Minkaro is our performing name, but we need a real name. So we can go for Brian, Phil, Dwayne, Steve, or Colt. I've got a feeling I know where these are going. Let's see actually if I can predict it. Brian could be Brian Kendrick, but I think Brian Danielson. Phil, guessing Phil Brooks, CM Punk. Dwayne is going to be Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Steve, probably Steve Austin. There's a few more people it could be, but that's what I guess. And Colt Cabana. So, I'm gonna use Steve. Let's be Steve. The second blank is for your surname. Irvine Cole Lee Blood. Okay, I wonder if that would have changed if I picked one of the other names. Steve Irvine, Steve Cole, Steve Lee, Right, what I'm going to do now is a little bit of a tribute. Steve Lee was actually the name of a singer, a guy from a band called Gothard, and he was killed a few years back in a motorcycle accident. Wasn't speeding, wasn't being silly. All it was he was standing on the side of a road, filling up, and his bike was hit by one of those articulated lorries. I think it was. I'm just going from memory here, and it was a few years ago, so apologies if I got that wrong. But I really love that band. He had a fantastic voice, so as a tribute to him, I'm going to go for that option. Oh, one more thing. You look up from the contract to see Sam still typing away at his computer. Have you and Guider agreed on whether you'll be coming in as a face or as a heel? That'll colour the tone of the vignettes. Vinny Guider is the promoter and booker of the BWF, and he was the one who personally recruited you into a promotion. After a few meetings with him, you both agreed that it would be best if you came in as a face. He said people would want to root for me. Heel. He said I carried myself like a natural villain. I've clicked heel, and I think if I was ever to get into the wrestling business, again probably not very likely, I would really want to be working as a heel. It seems so much fun. Whether you're wrestling or working as a manager or anything, to say things that will get the crowd to boo you. Now, that seems quite easy to do, actually. I mean, one of the basic things you can do is, I am in this town tonight, and this town's sports teams are all very bad at their chosen professions. And that will get you booed. But it does seem like a lot of fun, so that's what I'm going to go for. You're not really sure whether you should take that as a compliment, but as Vinny said, if they're booing you, then they'll pay to see you. That sounds like Vinny, alright, Sam laughs. You've got your work cut out for you. You've got a lot of great heels at the BWF. Sam squints at the screen, then shifts to his web browser. Wait a second, you were the 184-pound NCAA champ a year ago, right? Let's grab some footage of you're on your feet, and at Sam's side before you're even aware of what you're doing. Hey! He shouts. You realise that you have his right hand in a tight grip. That hurts. Nothing from that tournament, you say, your voice sounding strangely calm in your ears. Okay, let go. You let him put his hand away, and he massages it gingerly. Jeez, all you had to do was say so. You mumble an apology, or at least you think that you do. The rest of the session goes by in a blur, and you're only vaguely aware of Sam telling you that a new vignette will be released every Monday until your debut match in 3 weeks. You leave Sam's apartment and somehow make your way to the bus stop, It's only a 10-minute ride to Ants Place, where you're staying before your first BWF show, but your mind is miles away, back in your hometown of Cannon Rock, Minnesota, Life Haven, Vermont, Autumn Park, Florida, Apter, Tennessee. Okay, are these actual places? I don't know. Be interesting to find out if anybody watching this video lives there. Tell me all about them. You don't have to, I mean, it'd be nice if you did. But we're going to go for something else, and I'm going to go for... I suppose if we're thinking about this using the WWE logic, they're not going to want me to be from where I'm actually from, and I'm not going to put that on there because it's probably a bad idea to do that on the internet. So I'm going to put in Manchester because it's quite close to where I am. It's about 2 hours drive away. It's a big place, and because I'm a fan of Manchester United, and with that moment a lot of my audience went. But anyway, we'll do this one and then we'll finish the video, I think. So Manchester it's a bustling city. It's but where I am, it's I'm just on the outside of a town actually. So if I was going for a realistic, I would say quiet place, but Manchester is actually a bustling city. So we're going to go for that one, but we're going to do that in the next episode. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time. Take care. Goodbye.